Welcome to the Pioneer Agronomy Update. We are coming to you from Washburn, North Dakota. Clark Price, River Ag, is our host today. We're visiting with Larry Lunder, Field Agronomist with Pioneer. Larry, we're actually in a field that did get planted in this region.
Yeah, this is one of the earlier soybean fields we had planted. It was planted the Friday before Mother's Day. As you can see, we're getting some activity, starting to get some germination on that soybean seed itself. It's been relatively wet and cool spring, of course, and that has things moving a little slower than they normally would.
Yeah, driving from Grand Forks here to west, I think I saw a couple planters in the field, a lot of tillage being done, but we're certainly delayed.
Oh, we're way behind. You know, a year ago, you and I were talking about drought up in this very location, and now we're in the complete opposite, wetter, cooler soils, and we're, of course, behind where we normally would be for planting.
So what's the strategy for these growers as we move forward?
Well, as we move forward, continue to put seed in the ground, of course. And the thing I would caution on is there gets to be a temptation when you get this far behind. You want to load that planter, you want to put that planter down and just keep planting, just keep going. Very critical to make sure your seed depth is correct and that you're getting a good seal, of course, behind that row. Make sure everything's going right, because you don't want to have to, in an already year that's compressed for time, you don't want to have to go back and do a replant because of something you could have controlled.
Yeah, that would be the worst thing we need at this point. As far as strategies with maturities, I'm sure you're getting a lot of questions.
Yes, I mean, there's, of course, people get nervous as it gets later. To this point, we've pretty well held with the maturities, maybe a few crop switches as depending on the situations, but so far so good. Everybody's pretty well sticking to their plans. Of course, there's always some last minute changes, and that happens any year, really.
Yeah. So, well, that to-do list gets pretty big at this point. We got weed control, fertility. There's a lot of things that we need to be working on at this point.
Oh, absolutely. You got to have your fertility down for the crop, depending on, of course, what that is. Weed control is critical. Of course, we'll be looking at doing burn downs right now to burn anything off that's came up to control those weeds. Then it's a good time to put on a pre-emergence herbicide also for your corn, soybeans, and sunflowers to get that additional more season-long control and to go enhance your post control as well. So get that combination on and do a better job controlling weeds and managing resistance as well.
And certainly if growers have questions, they should be in contact with their local Pioneer rep.
Yes, up in the Washburn area we have, of course, Clark Price, River Ag and River Seeds, and he's been here since, I believe, 1996. About 10 years ago, put up a really nice facility right off of Highway 200A. He offers bulk beans with treatment right on the place. You can pull up with your truck, get your beans treated, put right into that semi. He also, of course, carries canola, corn, and sunflowers, and can give you some really good advice on good cropping strategies and things you need to do once that crop is in the field.
We're paying attention to every forecast. There is some cooler temps in this outlook. Not much we can do about that, but any thoughts about that as we move forward?
What I would say about that, knowing nobody's going to stop planting because of where we're at on the calendar, depending on how cool it does get, make sure those fields that you've already planted, go out and check those fields, make sure everything's going okay. If it looks like there's an issue, get a hold of your seed rep, get a hold of your crop consultant, whoever that might be, and make sure there isn't an issue, because if there is an issue, the quicker we can address it, the better off we'll be come the fall.
These winds are blowing. That should help dry these fields out. And I'm seeing a lot of guys that are working around maybe a wet spot in the field just to get things done.
Yeah, I mean, the wind is actually our friend for a change. It is helping get things in, and we have seen quite a bit of tillage going on to get the soils warmed up and kind of speed up the planting process. And yeah, there's going to be wet spots that we're just going to, the things that gave us the best crop last year might not get planted this year.
Yeah. Again, Larry Lunder with us, Field Agronomist from Pioneer. Again, we're coming to you from Washburn, North Dakota. Clark Price, River Ag, River Seed, our host today. Brittany taking care of camera work for us as well, and we thank you for that, Brittany. Again, from Pioneer, the Pioneer Agronomy Update, I'm Don Wick on the Red River Farm Network.